now we are sitting down with the Minerals Commission, and it's about the relentless fight against illegal mining led by that commission and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Graduation of river wardens to man the water bodies, registration of excavators are all new measures that have been announced by the government. Will they work? And are we able to put our shoulder to the wheel to save the water bodies? River Pra is begging for salvation, and we want to join that fight. The Minerals Commission sits with us today. Mr. Martin K Ayisi is the CEO of the commission. You can watch this interview on their social media handles: YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Just look for Minerals Commission Ghana. Also, remember, you're watching this live on GTV, so you can get this on our social media handles as well. GTV Ghana. Mr. Ayisi, welcome back to the table.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, indeed, I'm back. I've been in the field there.
We have missed you for a while.
Yeah, we've been in the field to see this relentless effort.
Hopefully, there's some good news to report, Mr. Ayisi, because it seems that the more government tries to put these measures in place, the more people fight back and resist. Is that what you found on your rounds to the grounds?
Oh, yes, but you cannot throw up your hands in despair. No retreat, no surrender. That's the slogan. We can't retreat, we can't surrender.
So what's the plan then? I've heard that the chiefs are cooperating in some way with the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. What has been the response of the President's encounter with the chiefs with regards to how to bring this situation under control?
Chairman, thank you very much, and it's great to be back. Yes, you see, we've always been talking about the fact that it's kind of a collaborative effort to nip this in the bud. So the President met the National House of Chiefs, and then also met the MMDCs, that's the Municipal, Metropolitan, and District Assemblies. I was there. I took part in the deliberations. Essentially, what came out of that deliberation is for us to work together to curb a menace that affects the very existence of this country. So a lot of things have been happening. And you can see for the last 2 weeks or so, the chiefs have been coming out now saying we will not allow galamsey in our jurisdictions. I think I heard one of the divisional chiefs also of the Dormahini. They were even showing some water body which has been protected. So that is positive. And then I think the Dormahini or Sefi, we also traditionally also come and say, look, I'm not going to allow any illegal mining to take place here unless you want to do it responsibly. So I think that is very positive. And other chiefs, the same applies to the MMDCs. They've been very cooperative. The reports we've been getting the last 2 or so weeks is that a lot of arrests and then a lot of persons that are involved in doing illegal mining have been arrested. I think 2 weeks ago, some Nigerians were jailed swiftly because people have been complaining about the delay in the prosecution process. So I thought that is a big plus. And then the other thing also to discuss is the new measures government has announced. I want to mention about 3 of them under the so-called enforcement mechanisms. One, effective, I think last week or so, the advert came out, or the publication came out this Monday. So every person having an excavator anywhere in Ghana, they have up to next week Wednesday to register it. It doesn't matter whether it's for mining, because excavators are used for other purposes, construction and whatever. But then we realize that the bulk of them are used for mining operations. So within 1 week, so it ends on Wednesday, every excavator anywhere in Ghana must be registered by a district assembly.
Would you care to say the registration procedure?
Oh, you just go to the assembly. So if you are in you have an excavator and it's in Atrimakwa, you go to the district assembly there and then get it registered. So who is the owner, the number, what is it used for, why are you here, etc. All of them. It doesn't matter what you're using it for. That is one. Now, why are we doing this? We realize in the course of the attempt to go and then decommission excavators that what you see is that you see a lot of look, travel between here and Kumasi And then you see a lot of excavators being parked on the roadside. Some are parked in houses. Interestingly, you find some of them being parked in petrol stations now, or filling stations, as we call them. The reason, because they know if you come and you're trying to decommission or perhaps set it ablaze, you end up burning the filling station. That's how smart they are. And then people keep saying, oh, I've parked my excavator somewhere, why do you come and take it? But we know, intelligence we've gotten, that those are for mining operations. Because you see, when you don't find him using it illegally in the water body or close to the water body, or even using it for an operation for mining, then it's very difficult to just go to somebody's house to go and pick an excavator. Or if it's parked somewhere at the roadside, I mean, excavator parked by the roadside or an earth-moving equipment, why will you go for it?
So the when there's has to be clear at the registration process.
When there's no evidence that, you see, let me explain carefully. What we found out is that many of the so-called excavators that were being parked in homes, now filling stations, and then other areas outside the illegal mining sites, it's difficult for you to go and take them. Why? Because you didn't find him in the water body, you didn't find him at the mining site. And then in the evening, they go back to the place. Okay? Yes. And then intelligence also found out that those were the very excavators or the earth-moving equipment which they use in operations overnight. So now the directive of the minister is that, and we are working with the local government minister and then the MMDCs, because once you bring in the MMDCs, you have to bring in the local government ministry. So effective this Monday, it ends Wednesday. Any excavator anywhere in Ghana has to be registered with the district assembly. Who owns it? I don't know whether they also use chassis number, or let's say the number or any identification, whatever. And then why is it there? What are you using it for? Purpose, etc. All those things are documented with the district assembly. Okay, so that is it. Even if you are doing construction, we want to know that thermal construction company, you are doing it here, this site, etc. Then, secondly, those who are using them for mining operations, they also be fitted with a tracking device. And the Minerals Commission will monitor them to make sure that you are using it within your concessions. So it means that when the soldiers go into a particular community or the assembly, and then they see an excavator parked anywhere, they will have to ask a few questions. For instance, what is this excavator doing here? And then they'll check the books to find out whether or not it's been registered. If it's not been registered, confiscated.
Right.
We'll just have to pick it.
So will the owner of the excavator be given some documentation to show?
Of course.
On site.
Of course.
If the task force or someone should come asking.
The fact is that you cannot even bring an excavator to a mining site if it's not registered and tracked by the Minerals Commission, which will start in a week or two. So when we come to the mining site and there's an excavator there, we will know that excavator is registered with the Minerals Commission. It's been fitted with a tracking device. And we know that you are working within your concession. Because what we also discovered is that persons may have what we call a mineral right, let's say within this particular area, and then he may be working somewhere else. That is galamsey. If you are properly licensed and are not working within your concession, that is galamsey. So the essence of the tracking device is to ensure that your earth-moving equipment stays within your site. Any attempt to move it outside your site, the thing automatically shut down. The control room is ready, we are ready, we start tracking, including explosives, sound, wind, everybody. So this, we are ready now. But if you find an excavator somewhere in somebody's house or by the roadside, the person should be able to tell you that, oh, this excavator was meant for construction or is going to use for another, duty somewhere. So if there's no record of the excavator
it will be confiscated.
It will be taken away.
So when this confiscation process, what is that? The machine will be taken away from wherever it is found to where?
The machine will be, of course, the law is clear. It will be given to the police. You understand that? And then we'll go through the necessary requirements of the law to get it disposed of. The law is clear as to how we dispose of. You see, the most important thing is this. Government came to that realization because you had excavators. I mean, you go to some areas, you have about 100 excavators parked. And then no construction is taking place. I can easily tell from you go to a whole district, there's no construction going on. Perhaps the last construction was some chief's compound somewhere 2-3 years ago or 6 months ago. So what are the excavators doing there? And then you are not finding the excavator at the water body or in a mining operation illegally. It's parked in the house. I'm saying these days they even park it at a petrol station or filling station. Because he knows when you come there to come and decommission, you're going to burn the whole place. That's how smart they are. So we also need to know what is the excavator doing there. Why? If a policeman sees you 12 midnight in a place, he has every reason to ask you, oh, gentlemen, what are you doing at this place, at this way of the, 2 a.m., walking in a secluded area? The policeman can question you. And if he's satisfied that,
there's no cause for
yes,
alarm.
Yeah. Other than that, he can say, look, we suspect you, let me search you or something. 2 a.m. walking in an area. So the same thing here. The assemblies need to know, the government needs to know, what is that excavator doing here? There's no construction going on. There's no civil works going on which will require the excavator. What is he doing here? And we are convinced, because it's based on intelligence and what we've seen over the years, that these are the same excavators or earth-moving equipment they sent to the water body midnight.
So that's one way of dealing with it.
And we are going to enforce this to the high heavens. By Wednesday, any excavator that is not registered, forget it.
The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has also made public the graduation of what the Ministry and the Minerals Commission are calling river wardens. Our crew was at that ceremony, and here is the story. We're back to speak to Minerals Commission CEO Mr. K Ayisi after we watch that story.
Statement issued by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapo, said owners, operators, or any user of an excavator shall, at the time of registration, specify the purpose for which the excavator is being used or to be used. As part of the registration, metropolitan, municipal, or district assemblies are to record the name and particulars of the owner of the excavator, the date the excavator was brought into the country, the registration number, the chassis number, the purpose for which the excavator was brought into the country, the area where the excavator is expected to be used. Also, the name and particulars of the current operator and user of the excavator must be provided. Failure to adhere, comply, or abide by this directive means any excavator found at a mining site or any other operational sites or elsewhere shall be seized and the necessary legal steps taken to confiscate the excavator to the state. All MMDA. The assignment of these 87 river guards is simple. Keep the illegal miners off the country's river bodies, which have come under heavy attack and pollution from Galamsey. Having procured some speedboats recently, the river guards are being deployed to the various river bodies, including Ankobra, Pra, Birim, and the Ofin, to help clamp down on illegal mining on the water bodies. Made up of 84 males and 3 females, the trainees were taken through drills in speedboat operation, swimming, policing, among others, in their month-long training.
You must understand that water is life. And so anything that destroys the country's water body destroys the life of the country. So your call to save the nation by saving the water bodies from illegal mining practices is therefore a divine one. You must therefore see yourselves as the nation's ambassadors for clean rivers.
A Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. George Mreku Duka, urged the guards to remain professional and not to be swayed by money at any time in their duties.
Whenever Operation Hall 2 undertakes any operation, since they are not permanently stationed, illegal miners return to the water bodies to perpetuate their criminal activities. Hence, we are of the firm belief that if these river wardens who are going to monitor these activities work as expected, we believe it will go a long way to help protect our river bodies.
Some exceptional trainees were awarded for distinguishing themselves during the period. Brunya Kweku Jr. from Amenfi East was best in swimming. From Inzima East, Gideon Kwame took the Best Drills Award.
So that was the ministry's program to graduate 87 river wardens. Our correspondent Clara Mlano brought us that story for GBC News. Mr. Martin K Ayisi is still at the table. Mr. Ayisi, so these people have been described as ambassadors for clean rivers, and they've been given training in swimming and other detective skills. What should we expect in the coming days after this graduation yesterday?
Thelma, thank you very much. We have several river bodies. Pra and Cobra, Ofin, Birim, Bonsa, even the Black Water, and then the tributaries. As we speak, I think about 2 weeks ago, the government, relaunched this Operation Hall 2. So the army is now on the water bodies trying to remove all the structures, decommission those earth-moving equipment and those things they've been using. You can't deploy the entire Ghana army on all these rivers because there are many. Even now, they work in the tributaries, then they wash into the main river. So you see, let's say the headwaters of Tano being clean, then downstream, then the pollution starts because they are working in the tributaries and then they wash into it. So the essence of this whole exercise is to train 300 river wardens. 300, this is the first batch, 87. So in about a week or two, the next 100 will go. And then by the end of the year, we'll have 300 of them. Now, they passed out yesterday. They're going to go home, and within the next week or two, they'll be deployed. What is going to happen is this, and they were picked from the communities. First, let me say that this is job creation. We're going to pay them. We're going to pay them not something small to say, oh, whatever. No, this is a well-organized program by the government. Because we are looking at efforts that are long-term, that are sustainable. So what will happen is this. So the soldiers come in, they sweep an area. Maybe because the soldiers move about 200, 300, 400. So they sweep the area. And then we've been saying, or we keep saying that the problem is that after 2-3 months, they come back. So you're going to keep a small detachment of the military, maybe about 5 or 10, who will supervise these water bodies, these river wardens, to stay at all the vantage areas, just to make sure that they prevent them from coming back. They will also focus on the tributaries. Remember, those boats that were brought by government are also there. So they'll be patrolling. So that's the whole, permanent presence, just to ensure that nobody comes back. So this boat will go to Pra, or Frame, Bonsa and Co. The next batch will take over Brim and all those things. So, but the military will be there. Now, here's the good news. People are saying, can these people be corrupted? We're going to give them body cams. And then it will be linked to the control room at the Minerals Commission. So we'll see you. That is that. And sometimes we got to believe in ourselves. If we keep talking about people being corrupt, they will take money, etc., then we could as well shut down the entire nation. That means that we don't have hope in our military, police. We don't believe anybody at the airport. We don't believe the civil servant. Is it the case that we don't just believe anybody? So let us start the work and let us see what will happen. You understand that? If you go deep inside the interior, there are these small water bodies, the rivers. And sometimes we have other tributaries of other tributaries, okay, where you are not able to reach. So the military will be there to make sure that things go on very well. So we believe that these 300, between now and end of the year, once they are deployed, some sanity will prevail. We have to do this.
Let's wrap this up, Mr. Ayisi. Where should we see this fight? Now there's a registration of excavators, deadline November 2. There is about to be a commissioning, or they will be sent out into the field countrywide, 87. 300 expected in total, 87 so far graduating. What should we expect with regards to the state of the water bodies? Because really, that's what we are trying to say.
Of course, our expectation is that this thing that is lying before you, I'm sure Kafi brought it from
River Pra.
Yeah, so it will, the color will change from, is it orange juice?
So a month from now,
no, I
cannot
say a month. I cannot say a month. I don't want to,
give specific timelines.
Even the experts will tell you that the water body cannot recover overnight. I am not going to say that.
So perhaps end of year. Would it be slightly
I cannot say
better?
End of the year. But what is important is that when you see improvement, you see improvement. Okay? Let's give ourselves time. I cannot come and sit and tell you that by Christmas or by January or February. No, but at least let them start the work. And then naturally, when we start going there, you see that, yes, the water is improving. But to come and tell you that, 6 months, 1 year, that the water will change, then I'm lying to Ghanaians. I won't do that. That's not the case. Even water bodies that have been destroyed over the years, they need time to recover. What is important is that once these things start, you start seeing improvements in the color and then the turbidity of the water body. Then we are getting somewhere. For now, we are not in a stage where my minister will tell you it is satisfactory. So we believe all these gamut of measures, especially this excavator thing, is going to be a game changer for us. If you are not registered, we don't know why it is there, we will pick it and then we'll take you through the law to get it confiscated to the state. I mean, you can imagine, it's mind-blowing, you know. And then, of course, as my minister said, intelligence is also going on to get the so-called barons who are behind and financing all those things. It took a lot of work by the security agencies to advise the minister to say that, no, you just have to make sure that every excavator, you know, is registered. What is he doing there? So once we see the excavator in the community, then onus is on us. If it's not registered, we'll pick it. That's it.
Mr. Martin K Ayisi, CEO, Minerals Commission, thank you so much.
The deadline is Wednesday. The deadline is Wednesday. So
November 2.
Yeah, so whether you sell excavator, you're a mining company, etc., after Wednesday, you risk losing your excavator. If it's not registered, you don't know where it is coming from, the purpose, the number, etc. Yes. We don't want anybody to come and tell us that, oh, I'm a construction person. I mean, we've been to areas where no single construction or road construction is taking place. What is this excavator doing here?
And the district offices are where you need to go to register your excavator.
The district assembly. The district assembly.
Okay, district assembly.
Yes. Every excavator, irrespective of whether it's for
sale,
the address is clear.
It's been commissioned for any kind of work whatsoever.
Yes.
It needs to be registered.
Even if you have set up, a shop and you are selling 5 excavators in Dunkwa, we have to register them. So when somebody comes to buy one, we need to know where it is going.
Mr. Ayisi, thank you for sitting with us. The CEO of the Minerals Commission has just explained what the government's new interventions mean. It means that owners of excavators, for whatever reason, should register them by the November 2 deadline. That is Wednesday, so you have 1 more week to do that. And you should go to the district assemblies. That is where you can be taken through the process to get those excavators registered. If you do not do that, after November 2, anyone that is seen and registered will be confiscated to the state, and the owners or those who would come forward as owning that excavator may face the full rigors of the law. The minister dedicated to that fight with the Minerals Commission in support. You can watch the interview on the Minerals Commission social media handles at Minerals Commission Ghana and on GTV Ghana as well on our social media handles.